I am going to talk about Python scope. So a variable is only available from inside the region it is created. It is called scope. So that means in Python there are various types of scope. One is a local scope, the other one is global scope, and okay. So let us deep dive into the scope. A variable created inside a function belongs to the local scope of that function and can only be used inside that function. So let us see here. In this example, x is equal to 300. It is defined inside the function, my function, my func. So the scope of this is within this function, my func. It is not available outside. Let us test this one. So for example, if you want to print after calling, then print of x. If you ask for this one, tell me what it will be. You can comment in the comment section what it will print. Will it print 300? See, there is no scope. It is not defined. Unless it is defined, you cannot use it. X is equal to 500. Then you can utilize it. Right? Now, x inside the function and x at the global are different. Okay, so that is what you need to understand with the local scope. So that means a function in a variable which is declared inside function or a block is limited. The scope is limited to that particular function inside function. For example, if you have created a function, then this scope is valid inside the function. So it is within the scope of this block. So that means my inter function and x, the x is global to this particular function, but it is inside the block, and this x is available inside this block, but it is not available outside of my function. See, if you see, if you want to print here again, print of x. See, this is available inside another function or inner function of a main function, and it has become a global variable for this my inner function, but that is not global variable for outside of this scope. You see, this is not different. Okay, so you have to be very careful to understand between the local scope and the global scope. So now let us talk about global scope. A variable created in main body of the Python code is a global variable and belongs to the global scope. Global variables are available from within any scope, global or local. See, it is declared outside. You see, x is equal to 300. It is outside of my function. The scope is limited to here, right? But when you declare here, it is available outside. It is available everywhere. Even you can use inside a function or outside function. This is available in that global. Okay, so that is the so naming variable. If you operate with the same variable name inside and outside the function, Python will treat them two separate variables. One available in the global scope and another one is. So you have to ensure that you use the names differently, otherwise it will always confuse you. See, this is the local variable of x and this is a global variable of x. So both are different. So be careful and give always a different naming convention. Global keyword. You can, if you need to create a global variable but are stuck in the local scope, you can use this global keyword. It makes the variable global. If you use this here, then you can print here also. Print in outside of the global. Here you declare it as a x as a global in the function. So usually when you don't make it global, the scope remains within this block. Since you have declared this as a global, now if you print here, it will print x outside of this scope of the local function. So that is the difference you need to understand if you declare it as a local, if you declare it as a global variable. Also use the global keyword if you want to make change to a global variable inside a function. So if you want to make it global, right, you can change inside the function. So non-local keywords used to work with the variables inside nested functions, makes the variables belong to the outer functions. Okay, let us test this one. So X is June, and you are making this as a non-local, and that means you are making this hello, and then you are calling my function to here, and you are returning X. So what is the value which is printing? You know, now this X is hello. This value is written, not the Jane. For example, if you make it, if you comment this, okay, let us comment this, then run. Okay, what happened? This is local, the X is local to this, right? And you are calling my function 2. It is just doing nothing but X, but the value which is local X is kept as Jn, and X is written. Okay, now you are changing it to non-local. Okay, that means it has become a global, right? Now, okay, what did you do? Okay, now what has happened? It has become, this X has become global, global to the scope, and then X is updated with the hello, and then hello is written. But in any case, be careful and ensure that you use appropriate variable scope to not to get into the confusion and land into the trouble of local and global scope. What is local, what is global, and what are the values stored. Okay, be careful and use these concepts in your programming language, and write the programs accordingly. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, comment, like, share and subscribe.